flirts.
Okay, do that. Okay, but do me a favor. Just don't. You can think I'm crazy, but I don't think I'm crazy. And just don't badmouth me. I don't badmouth you.
Well, I don't even know if our calling you crazy is bad mouthing you.
Well, I think, okay, so what happens is that when people are credible, certain people want to make them crazy or identified as crazy, so then their allegations are not researched, okay?
That is a good point.
And that's why
make a good point.
And that's why I'm very upset that if you say, oh, we're enemies and blah, 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 then what I would do is I would just say, that's ridiculous. If this guy says we're enemies, then I would have to bring you into the whole thing, because I don't want to have some Coast Guard DHS dude running around telling people I'm crazy. If you want to do that, if I hear that you're doing that, that would really piss me off, because my credibility matters.
Well, really, I don't know if anybody would be interested, not at least where I work, nobody is interested in you. So
okay, evidently, I hang out with other DHS people who actually tell me that they send people to conferences that I go to, their agency, to listen to my question, and then their actual top administrator gets the question because they know where the question's coming from, and they actually respond. Okay? So you and your division, nobody could give a shit, which is great, because that's not my purpose. My purpose is to get the dialogue happening where the dialogue needs to happen. I don't need you or your friends talking about me. I just need the people that I have 5 million views. I need those people that actually care about the issues that I talk about. And I'm obsessed about my issues because I've got this thing for one more year and I get to make change doing what I do. And I'm sorry that I'm not an attentive friend, but I try to be a friend. And you keep asking me to pick you up at the airport when you know I can't be alone with a guy one-on-one. So then I find other people to help. And it's...
I know.
And I mean, but I've always been sincere. I told you that was the rule from day one. And...
Well, anyway, what happens after your year?
Look, I can't go into details. What's going to happen is that when Obama, I was told by some FBI that I've been given permission to blog. All my calls are monitored. My emails are monitored. I've given a permission. I know that's happening. I've given a permission. The only ones that aren't monitored are my iMessage. So I have given permission for that to happen. And I was told that the Obama administration has approved me to do this, and that's why I get to do this. And I doubt that no other next president is going to want to have some blogger exposing issues. I don't have a clearance. I do not know what issues I get are classified and which are not. The issues that I get are issues that matter to people that want to make change.
I know, but I was more hinting at after your year, are you going to do a whole different, departure from journalism?
I like journalism now. I like it. And plus, I was told to protect my sources. I have to be a journalist. I have to be a journalist, lawyer, or priest. Because if the next administration does not like me, if it's like a Clinton administration, then they might come after me and they might want my sources. And my sources are hardworking bureaucrats that just want things done right.
I think we should write off being a priest or a journal or a lawyer. So
that's my problem. Okay. I've already get this. My NSA friends have already gotten George Mason to approve me to go into their law school. I have to take the LSAT now.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious. I was told that I could get into the George Mason law school, which is good because it's a state school, so the tuition is cheaper. So I can go to George Mason and get a law degree, and some people think that would be good because it would give me a break from doing what I'm doing. And I've hung out with so many lawyers in the national security field, and they've got a new national security private program. It's like about privacy, right? But it's all NSA backed. match. So the people in the NSA have been very nice to me. And I mean, I was very happy when George Mason. So that's another thing I'm contemplating. I mean, and I'm 50 years old, so for a 50-year-old dyslexic woman with ADD to go to law school would be kind of entertaining.
How about your dyslexia? Is that much of a barrier?
Yeah, I can, everything I listen to, I can digest. It's part of why I'm such a great person that was a former spy, because I can listen to things and remember it, and I can pull it out of my brain. I can remember shit that happened way back. I also never read books. I never read spy novels. So all my information was fresh data that came from the back of my head. And that's why I'm so accurate, because I never read. I never, my grandfather told me never to go to spy movies. So everything that I remember is pretty much real. And that's why my memories were vetted to be true. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but if I go to class and I sit and listen and I have a scribe, somebody that writes for me, I do have a high IQ, so with my IQ, I could easily pass if I don't have to do the papers.
You see, maybe you would be doing it using that Dragon program, that computer that can take dictation.
That's what they're telling me. They're telling me that there's all these ways. Like in the long time ago, I never did well in school because of my dyslexics and my dygraphia and all this weird shit. But I was told that with the new stuff out there, I could become a real professional. So I mean, people have been kind, okay? But Lou, the reason why they're kind is that I'm helping them out by exposing issues. I mean, nobody's just helping me out because they like me. They're helping me out because I've done a lot for them. It's like, and so I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. So I don't want to argue with you anymore. I just want to be friends, but I can't go into detail, but I need the credibility because I'm helping to make, there's this big effort because Colin Powell was mad about the bad weapons of mass destruction to clean up the intelligence community. And a lot of things are happening. And I'm a low-level player in that.
I recently read a book called David and Goliath.
And
one of the fellows had dyslexia, and he managed to get through, he went through law school entirely by listening in on lectures and just being able to retain it. He was able to pass the bar. It's very interesting.
And that's probably like me because I can remember conversations that I had with people at embassies in Honduras. I have a good memory. So if I sit and when I go to these lectures and these meetings, I'm bored out of my brain because I'm ADD, but I will remember stuff that I hear, right? And then I will be at another meeting and I'll say, well, what so-and-so knows about that. And then I can easily help people when they're looking at problems because they're looking for the problem solvers. And I spend most of my time going to different intelligence meetings. Like I was just at the White House cybersecurity briefing. I've got all these briefings I go to. I go to the briefing with the top commanders of all the top military things. And people keep thinking, why am I there? Well, I could just be there because they need a woman. I could just be there for whatever reason. But I go because I can remember what they're saying. So if I know that they're dealing with NORAD and they're dealing with this, and sometimes they're both trying to work on the same problem, and then I'm the idiot that says, well, why don't you work together and you can save a lot of money? And that is what they need. They need somebody with a big picture brain that can attend this shit and know what people are doing.
Do you ever listen to audiobooks?
Yes. Not now. I mean, because my head is so filled up. I mean, Lou, I go to this stuff and my head hurts because it's so much information. And so
You have said so.
And I will go and I will spend 6 or 8 hours with people talking about nonstop, like the drone issue. I mean, I got a bunch of drone issue from an NFL staffer because they were worried about threats. And then I went to a DHS conference. And then after I taught, then they decided to come up with making all the DOT register. And they said it was my question that made that issue on the table for the dialogue. And it was because the NFL people didn't know what their liability would be if they got some threats. And people want to put stuff in drones, not just pictures, but they want to put, I was told to never repeat what they want to do, but they want to put stuff in drones to basically kill people. And the NFL was worried they'd have to dome all their stadiums because of the drone threat.
Right.
And people weren't talking about it in national security. And then everybody was going to get drones for Christmas. And you just need one kid with pimples that has a bunch of Clorox or something, and it just could be ugly. So, people had a real concern, and they used me as the vehicle to go to a DHS conference in a drone panel, raise my hand, and ask a question in front of 600 people that forced them to talk about the issue. And that's important. That's what I do. Colin Powell's people have a problem. Somebody communicates to me the problem. I then share the problem in front of 600 people that are all a bunch of bureaucrats that go, what are we supposed to do? And they're all well-meaning people, but they don't have the direction and what problems to focus in on. And they're all well-meaning people. Nobody that I've met in government that's a bureaucrat is, in my head, visually correct. They're just go along to get along, or they just do what they're told. But they need to be directed. And I'm not directing them. The people giving me information to ask questions are the ones that are doing it. I'm just a puppet. And so, but it's a very stressful thing that I'm doing, okay? So sometimes